Hi, this is Chris Young, and welcome to Good News on Tap for the second Sunday of Advent. Suppose you're walking down the street one day, and there's a guy standing on a street corner in ragged clothes. He has long, straggly hair, an unkempt beard, maybe had crumbs in the beard. If you're unfortunate enough to walk by closely, you might notice his odor as well. Now suppose he's rambling on and on about something that's coming. He's telling you God is coming, and you need to prepare yourself. Make straight the way of the Lord, he proclaims. That's a quote from Isaiah, exhorting us to make it easier for God to come into people's lives. We're supposed to clear the way of obstacles, like mountains and valleys and sharp corners. It's easier to drive a straight and level road, after all. Would you pay attention to such a person? You'd probably give him a wide berth as you walk by. And if he was there every day, you might even walk on the other side of the street, just to avoid him. That's sort of the situation the people in today's gospel encountered when they saw John the Baptist out in the desert. The gospel tells us he had a camel hair coat, and he wore that in the desert. Surely that couldn't smell very good. And he ate bugs and honey. What kind of a strange person was this? But for some reason, people were drawn to him in the desert, and drawn to his message. His message was repentance. So despite his bizarre appearance and his lifestyle, people were actually hungry for his message, and they allowed themselves to be baptized by him in the Jordan River. Last week was Thanksgiving, and here in Indianapolis there's an organization founded by the late Reverend Moselle Sanders. They put out a massive effort every year to feed thousands of Thanksgiving dinners to people in need. Right now, the United Christmas Service, Salvation Army, and other organizations are putting out massive efforts to help people at Christmas again this year. Some of the people served by these efforts are probably as strange-looking as John the Baptist or that strange man I described in the beginning. But then in this troubled economy, some of the people who need help are just ordinary families who can't find work or are struggling to make ends meet because they're underemployed. All of these people, regardless how they look, are being a John the Baptist for us. They're calling us to make it easy for God to get into their lives and to ours. You can't spend much time contemplating God's love and mercy and forgiveness if you're preoccupied with survival day to day. For them to find God in their lives, they need comfort and security. They need to know that unconditional love does exist. And we need to know that as well if we're truly to let God into our life. We need to hear the John the Baptist in our society calling us to do God's work, to meet the needs of those who have little, to share what we have, and in doing so, filling in those valleys and lowering those mountains and straightening those roads in our own life and in the lives of others, so that we can really experience God when he comes on Christmas. And it can't just be a seasonal effort. Who helps these people the other 364 days a year? Who clothes their children or buys presents for them on their birthdays? It's a year-round job. The message of John the Baptist wasn't, do something one time for a change. His message was to reform your entire life. That way the gift of Christmas isn't just one day a year. It's a lifelong celebration of God's unconditional love. And that's Good News on Tap for the second Sunday of Advent.